Hey there, guys. Welcome to another action figure review. And boy, do I fucking hate scalpers. That is gonna be the topic of this review: scalpers and scalping. And scalping is something that's been affecting the action figure community, I want to say, since that pandemic started and ended, and it's never really gone away since then. It's very unfortunate. It's something that's been affecting other communities in collecting as well. I know baseball cards, Pokemon cards famously are known for scalpers and for fist fights that rival those seen in Waffle Houses. Um, but scalping isn't a new thing overall. I mean, the term is dating something from like the 18th century, so it's nothing fairly new in terms of what's been going on. Famously, in my lifetime, there has been an example of scalping involving the PS3, that console that was released in short supply because they didn't have enough chips. And people noticed that. Very famously, a lot of people went and bought PS3 consoles and no games because they never intended to play any games on that console. They intended to put it up on eBay and resell it at a premium price. So Sony's solution to that was to just keep making PS3 consoles and eventually keep mass producing PS3 consoles at a loss, even if it meant them cutting back on some of the features that the earlier versions of that console had, such as the PS2 backwards compatibility. Hasbro, unfortunately, does not think the same way that Sony does. They're going to continue to produce the same amount of figures because they have shareholders they have to answer to. They have to show a profit on their stock holding portfolio every single quarter, every single year, and they're not going to change. They care about the fans enough to want you to buy their figures, but they don't care enough to actually give you a good deal on their figures, or even have the respect of not putting the most popular 2-pack and making it freely available and not having it tied to be a store exclusive, a big box store exclusive. That is just evil that you cannot begin to comprehend. Because they released these Marvel Gamerverse figures, these 2-packs, and these deluxe figure packs. And let's not even deny it. First of all, they were inspired by the success of the Jada Street Fighter line, because that one is making gangbusters, and of course they can't put Capcom branding on it, but this is literally Marvel vs. Capcom 2 toy line. That's what this is. And they unveiled some of the figures and they all look very awesome. Maybe we don't need that 25th Wolverine made this year. Maybe we don't need that. It's a fun figure though. It looks like a fun figure. Maybe we don't need that 30th Iron Man figure released these last 5 years or whatnot. But I'm pretty sure a good 80% of the fan base zeroed in on this one particular 2-pack. And they were like, oh, this is the 2-pack that I want. And maybe it's more for one figure and not both in that 2-pack. But regardless, you would think that Hasbro wants to make a profit. They want to make as much money that they would make a bunch of these 2-packs and make them freely available so everyone could get in on the action. Did they do that? No, they did not. They made the most desirable of the 2-packs a Target store exclusive. Right off the bat, you already knew that they were never going to fall directly into the hands of collectors from Target to actual collectors. There was always going to be that middleman, those bots, those scalpers, those resellers, as they like to call themselves. You know that was always going to happen. It was almost, you could say, inevitable. And yet, Hasbro and Target still trotted along with that plan, and we still fell for it again. We woke up early in the morning to see if we could get in on that 2-pack action, and literally stared at a sold out screen 30 seconds later. We literally went to our stores. We ventured to other stores as well throughout LA County and my behalf. I even went to some stores in Riverside County to see if I could actually find these elusive figures. All I saw was empty pegs, empty store shelves. I did see that $59.99 price tag, which by the way is also highway robbery. How are you giving us a semi-deluxe figure and a normal standard figure and charging us $60? Where is the cost cutting in this? Where is the savings in this? Back in the day, you could get a 3-pack of Captain America, Miss Marvel, and Radioactive Man, and it was $44.99. Where is that going? Where is that? Those are the long gone days, you know, at this point. And yeah, so we all eventually either got lucky or we had to bite the bullet. And unfortunately, I had to raise the white flag this time around. As much as I hated it, I had to raise the white flag, and unfortunately I succumbed and bought it off of a reseller. It sucks, I know, but I really wanted this 2-pack, and I really want to review this 2-pack for you guys. And you guys already know what 2-pack is going to be, come on. But I'm saving the anticipation for now. And I'm letting you guys know that, hey, it wasn't all in vain. I ended up talking down the price of the 2-pack because I guess this reseller was in a hurry to sell them, because this is when they barely came out, they barely hit store shelves, and you know, sometimes people panic, sometimes they think they're going to be sitting on stock. That's how it should be. Scalpers should be afraid of sitting on their product, but the best way to do that is for people to just be patient, wait, and see that the actual company makes more of that product that you want. But of course, sometimes the company doesn't care, because to my knowledge, they're not going to remake this 2-pack. They're not going to redo this 2-pack anymore. Instead, they're probably going to divide the 2 figures and make them deluxe figures and sell them at a higher price than you would have gotten them at this. You're probably going to see this, by the way, the 2-pack is Psylocke and Thanos. You're probably going to see this Psylocke be like a Best Buy exclusive and fucking cost $34.99 or something. They're probably gonna make her Marvel, what is it called? Marvel Ultimate, Marvel Icon Maximum. They're probably gonna make her a Maximum Series Marvel figure. I just can't believe it. I can't believe how day in and day out we keep getting screwed over. We keep having to raise the white flag for a product that we want. And I wish that wasn't the case. But unfortunately it is. And I don't know. Scalpers got me this time. I highly doubt they'll get me the next time. I'm running out of things really that I really want, you know. Fortunately, as a sucker, McFarlane is gonna release that legendary gold edition, red, platinum, whatever the fuck, Zatanna. Right off the bat, you already know it's gonna be a mythic grail piece to find in stores. And I'm probably gonna be one of those suckers that's gonna go again and have to resort to a reseller to get actually that figure that I've been wanting. That's the one McFarlane figure that I've been wanting. So, oh well. But guess what? Eventually, they're gonna run out of figures that I really want. And that's all that matters to me. In the meantime, though, fuck scalpers, and let's have some fun and review some action figures 10 minutes into this review. So we're taking a good look at this Gamerverse Marvel vs. Capcom 2 inspired Psylocke and Thanos. And I love the pixel art inspired artwork on the sides. Just beautiful packaging, Very uniform packaging on all of them. Definitely a Marvel vs. Capcom 2 nod right there. The weird part though is I think like what is it, Shuma Gorath or Gargantos or whatever he's known as nowadays because of copyright law, because of the Howard estate. Yeah, why was he windowless? But then these are windowed figures. It's so weird how Hasbro picks and chooses which figure is going to be a windowless packaging and which one is actually going to have plastic in them. I don't know, but love the artwork, like the sprite artwork, even on their names, gives it a real unique charm to all the figures, because I think Wolverine, Silver Samurai, they all have like their own type of font and, you know, lettering and coloring and all that good stuff. So yeah, and there is a brief description on the figures, and it says, armed with her psychic blades, the telepathic mutant Psylocke battles the mad titan Thanos. And of course it's also in different languages, which I guess I could say: armada con sus espadas psíquicas, la mutante telépata Psylocke enfrenta a Thanos, el titán loco. Titán loco. Anyways, all right. So enough of me lollygagging. Let's take a good look at these figures, and let's be honest, more than likely people are getting this 2-pack for one figure in particular, which is Psylocke. So we're gonna review her last. Yeah, ain't I a stinker? But anyways, let's take a good look at this Thanos figure, affectionately known as Bunny Ears Thanos because of the way he looks, but that's the way he was drawn in the games. So let's take a good look at him first. I'm not trying to ruin this box, but it's making it difficult. There we go. Pulling him out. And come on, look at this. Whoa! Just a cheap paper right here. Cheap paper. We don't really need it. By Gonzo. And how could you not say it's not Marvel vs. Capcom 2 inspired? Look at this background right here. It's definitely Marvel vs. Capcom 2 inspired. And there you go. This is the figures right there, live and in living color. And wow, he actually even has covers for his booties. So let's take a good look at him. Pulled out pretty easily. Nice sheen, nice bright sheen of on his shoulder pads right here. Pretty cool. Really, I don't know. I mean, I think it does follow how he's supposed to look like in the. I think it is following how he looks like in the games, but he does seem a bit too orange for my taste. Just a bit too orange on the coloring of the figure, but I think that's how he is. I think they were going for like this kind of like not full on blue and not full on yellow, like somewhere in the middle. And I don't know, it really does go well though, especially with like the purple that they decided to use on his face right there. So it's pretty good. Articulation wise, does seem like comparable to that deluxe figure released from a while back, or even the Build-A-Figure from way back, if you guys still remember that figure. From, I think it was like the Infinity series still. They were still called Infinity series and whatnot. Other than that, articulation seems pretty standard for the figure. Ab crunch. Oh, but they do have a waist cut. And you know I'm a big fan for waist cuts right there. Doesn't seem to have any butterfly joints though, so that's going to limit the motion on this figure. But I mean, Thanos is a pretty hefty, girthy guy, so I don't think it's gonna be that much of a problem. You know, he's not so much of a limber type of fellow. He's brute force, brute strength, and of course power. And a nice touch on making the gems, they're gems, not stones. This is comic accuracy lore that we're talking right here. Unless they made, oh wait, no, they made them stone. They made them stones in modern comics, but back in the classic days of Marvel, these were actually gems. They were called Infinity Gems. Folks, get it right. Of course, in the snappy motion, which is one of his abilities in the game. Of course, this hand is going to come off. And of course, this one is going to plug in right there. Oh, wait. Oops. Well, at least this hand could be removed. All right. Of course, you're going to make the snapping motion right there. Boom. Oh, yeah. And of course, in the comics, the soul gem is actually the green gem, not the time stone. So, yeah. But other than that, I mean, like I said, I mentioned it. It's compared to the deluxe figure right here that's shown right here. I don't know. Is it a vast improvement? I'm gonna say yeah. It is kind of a vast improvement. You know, I do like the colors. This is a more classic Thanos color scheme, but for some odd reason, this just looks much more. I don't know. Maybe I'm pretty, because I'm gonna be honest. Like, I played the games before I actually read the comic book. You know, so I played the games as a kid, and I read the comics like as a older teen. So I do associate this more as being like my definitive Thanos. So maybe that's why I like it more. I know people aren't really too fond of the bunny ears, you know. But yeah, like which one would I display? I mean, despite this having much more like color, like comic accurate coloring, I kind of prefer this guy now. I'm kind of glad that I got him now, you know. I know a lot of people are just reselling this figure because all they really wanted was the lock. But I'm happy with this. So, yeah. I'm going to give this guy... what should I give this guy? And, ooh, nice color. I just really noticed, like, the red on his eyes. I don't know if the camera's picking that up right there. But, looks pretty cool. And, so I'm going to give this guy... let's give this guy low 8 out of 10. Low 8 out of 10. Very happy with this figure. But of course, we're gonna go move on to the main event. The figure that everybody wants, Psylocke. And I'd be remiss. This is a grail figure for me. I'm not even gonna deny it. I've practically have bought every Psylocke figure that they've made. I have the Marvel Select up there. I have the Mafex down there. I've bought every version of Psylocke that they've released. I have the X-Force version somewhere over there behind me. And, you know, they've gotten her right, but they've always, I don't know, there was always certain... So they would get certain things right, but then again, certain things wrong with these figures of Psylocke. In particular, I actually paused the camera real quick so I could actually grab the Mafex version of Psylocke. And while this is an amazing representation of her, I don't know, there's just something off about the proportions that I never really liked. You know, she is tall, even in the comics, incomparable to like most of her mutant counterparts. But I don't know, the legs just seem way too long. Like, I know she's a martial arts expert, but like these legs are just super long. And I don't know, like, just call it minor nitpick. Like, I know that Jim Lee used to draw her with like purple lips, but like these bluish purple lips just never really hit right with me. I don't know why. Like, just this hue that they use, this color that they use on this Mafex, just really... I love the figure, but I wouldn't say it's the definitive Psylocke. Even this Psylocke that I had bought, you know, the Apocalypse Build-A-Figure version, like, while still being my favorite at the time until this one, I still made some modifications to it. Like, the paint job was just off. She just seemed way too, like, her skin tone was just seemed off. And they were just like, I don't know, and also the body that they selected for her, it didn't seem that athletic, didn't seem like a martial arts expert, you know. And I just thought they were never really gonna get it right. And who knew that all they had to do was base her off her pretty much her Versus series, her Capcom game version, and it's literally the perfect definitive Psylocke figure. I don't think I could ask for anything much better. She just looks incredible, like like bar none. Butterfly joints, drop down hips, this diaphragm, but also like a nab crunch. It's just incredible. Like, it's just incredible the range of motions that this figure has. Double jointed, pinless. Also double jointed, not only in her elbows but in her knees. Pinless, hinge on the legs, hinge on the hands. She comes chock full of with accessories. Look at all these psychic effects, psychic blades to mimic like her kind of like like her side shots, her butterfly, like the butterfly crown that she wears when she shoots psychic beams. An alternate head sculpt with waving hair. These poses that are meant to mimic like her, like kind of like her standby like pose, you know, ready to go into battle pose. Her side blade, and this is like her spiral, like I guess you could say her Shoryuken. That's the best way I could describe it, you know. Um, and so yeah, like it's just really really well done. Paint job is really accurate. Not only is it game accurate, it's also comic accurate. Like, this is probably the best representation of Psylocke that they've made. This is above the Select. This is above the Mayfix. This is above any previous Hasbro and Toy Biz, because Toy Biz was pretty horrendous, let's be honest, figure that they've ever made of her. So I am just head over heels for this figure. It's incredible. Can't give it enough fanfare, you know. Am I fanboying a bit over it? Yes, I'm probably fanboying a bit over it, but this is a figure that I've long wanted, and I'm happy to finally have it. Her bands are sculpted, which is once again something that's original, because I think the last time around that Hasbro made her, they were painted on and it was like a splotchy paint job. Now they're actually sculpted on. They're nicely painted. There's no paint that seems to be rubbing off. The face technology, the face scan technology that they did on these figures is just incredible. Not just on Psylocke, but also some of the newer Marvel Legends. Like I heard that the Fantastic Four First Steps wave is like, those production pics do not do justice to how great those figures look in actual hand. So there you go. I just can't give this figure that high of an accolade, but of course nothing is perfect. There are certain deficiencies. Of course, the one deficiency that I could give this figure is, yes, I'm glad that it has a diaphragm, but come on, like, you can't give, like, I'm glad that they actually gave her like a cut to actually be able to to be like a crunch, you know, to be able to crunch down, and that actually adds some more range of motion. But you know, I'm always gonna want that waist cut. I just need waist cut on all my figures, you know. And also I don't know, the thigh cut seems a bit too low, maybe. I mean, it's an actual thigh cut, I guess. But at this point, you might as well have just made it a boot cut and just cut it down here, you know? Obviously, you can't break the sculpt that much and have cuts everywhere, because then you would have a situation like how Toy Biz did, that they had, you know, you have a figure with like 40 something points of articulation, but then like the whole figure would just be like a bunch of cut it up like joints and stuff like that. You obviously don't want that. The sculpt is pretty seamless and flawless on this one though. And you know, it's crazy. You guys are gonna call me crazy, but 9.5 out of 10. Probably one of the better figures that I've reviewed in this channel. And it's very unfortunate, because most people will not see that figure by paying retail price. That should be the most infuriating thing. If you're gonna take one thing out of this review, it's that they knew what they were doing. Hasbro knew what they were doing, and maybe they weren't evil. Maybe evil was too bad of a word to use, but that was hyperbole on my behalf, of course. You know, they're not out there. They're not out there mass murdering people, right? Oh shoot! I fucking said that, so now my video is probably gonna be censored. Oh well, who gives a shit? So yeah, evil is probably too strong of a word, but it is very scummy. And maybe to say that scalpers are evil is too much as well. Maybe they're just scummy. Nah, fuck them. They're fucking evil, so fuck them. Anyways, but yeah, that does it for the review. At least the review portion. If you guys want to stick around, there is gonna be more to this as well. I'm gonna unbox something. It's also scalper related, but it's not really. It's kind of like a little parody thing involving scalpers. You guys don't have to stick around for that. The review is done. I hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, peace and love, and I am out. Hey there, guys. You've made it to the after hours portion of this video. You could almost say it's the epilogue. You know, hope you guys enjoyed the review. And yeah, let's have a little bit of fun. So, you know, it's kind of weird that like originally, yeah, I did want to make this video involving that 2-pack and, you know, the whole scalping aspect to it. And then I ended up getting this package around the same time that I was set to do the review. And it was kind of like a serendipitous moment because I do know what this package entails and what's inside it. And a while back, an old friend of mine had recommended this Kickstarter because this guy, this one of the famous action figure YouTubers, was making kind of like a parody He-Man Masters of the Universe line, like a parody of it, but it involved like the scalping aspect of it. And so I don't know, like, you know, I'm always down to like fun figures. And so, you know, I decided to do that, and so it finally got here. So let's open it up and see what it's all about. Okay. So let's see. Trying to cover up my address because it is written at the top of this package, and I don't want anyone stalking me. Anyways, let's see what came in. It's a brown paper bag. Okay. Damn. It is Flipor and the Champions of Neferity. Of course, Flipor is a pun on words on flipping, on like toy flipping, you know, scalping, what have you. And so let's see. Well, let's open it up. Oh. Would you look at that? Execucats. I did not expect this. I did not know what this is. Oh, okay. So these are okay. I know what these are. I'm sorry. I do actually know what these are. So these are meant to be like the actual like figures that he's scalping. So this is supposed to be like Lyra-O of the Execucats. The Piss Tank, which of course is a play on words on the His Tank from G.I. Joe. So hey, I'm supposed to build my own boxes, cool. But these are supposed to be like fake items that of course Flipor is getting. And of course here is like his hands, a head sculpt, and mini Flipor figures. That's so cool. I'm a big fan of like miniature action figures. Like that's the best way to get me, you know. If you have an action figure to sell and it comes with a mini action figure, I'm halfway there towards purchasing it, you know. The Devious Gotcha, which of course it's a play on Catcha, Botcha, Gotcha. It's of course a play on bots, of course, that are usually scalpers employ to get all their Pokemon cards or get all the action figures, the Psylocke, Thanos 2-packs and what have you. They use bots to just buy off all the stock from the online store and then of course resell it on eBay. And oh, the Target cloak. And yes, this is making fun of Target and the fact that they usually get exclusives, and yet they're not that they're very exclusive, I should say. So exclusive that not even actual people could actually buy them. It's purely bots that buy them. So there you go with that. I forgot what this was, this rod. I'm not, you know, I just got it to just be toystalker.com. I guess they're the ones that made. I just got it out of fun, you know. A friend of mine back in the day, he was like, "Oh yeah, you should get it. It's kind of funny." And yeah, I do find it funny. I like the fact that it's a slip-on, slip-off packaging, kind of like Mythic Legions. That is pretty cool. And of course, get all the ones in the line. You could get Flipor, Flaker, Flipbot, and Flakebot. Flipor and the Champions of Nefertiti. Some flipping action. Toy stores and backpack. Locate exclusive with the flip detector. There you go. Flipor, the satirical lord of flipping. A cutthroat merchant who only looks out for his own bottom line. And yeah, that's definitely it right there. Oh, and now I just saw the line. So Mad Hatter Toys. So that's the guy that made this toy line. So shout out to him. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. I found it to be pretty funny, to be honest. The Cloak of Tarjate. And yeah, like I said, I'm a big fan of miniature action figures. I'm a big fan of like boxes, you know, like just miniature stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, so this is pretty much a parody of scalping, of scalpers. And yeah, like I said, I thought it was pretty funny that this came in just right before I was set to do that review right over there. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and more than likely this is going to be attached at the end of the review that I just did right now. I don't know if the review portion, I don't know if I'm going to leave this out of one of the many versions of the reviews. I might upload the whole thing, including this, like this segment, to like YouTube, but not upload it to like Instagram. Or maybe I just upload it all to like both YouTube and Instagram. I don't know. I'm on the fence about that. But that's pretty much it. Hope you guys take care, and I'll see you guys in the next one.